On November 19th, Pluto leaves Capricorn for good. And this is, of course, a really big deal in the world of astrology, as well as what is now opening up in your chart. So I want to talk about what it means when Pluto leaves a sign. So we've discussed a lot of the themes around Pluto moving into Aquarius. That has been happening off and on throughout 2023 and 2024. But now that Pluto is done in Capricorn, there are actually two things I want to highlight and call out in your chart. The first is for you to take a look at where you have Capricorn energies in your chart by house or houses. This depends, of course, on whichever house system you use. Go with whichever resonates for you. Work with whatever seems to match up with your energy. So when you're looking at your natal astrology chart and you're identifying where you have Capricorn by house or houses, this is, of course, the territory that Pluto has been traveling in since first entry into Capricorn, January 2008. So January 2008 was the very first time Pluto entered Capricorn, and now in November 2024, it is the final bow, the last hurrah, and Pluto is leaving Capricorn. So look at the house or houses here that have been undergoing this really intense transformational energy from Pluto and has required you to really transform and power up Capricorn energies and expressions in your life. This means that there's no going back to even our previous understandings of Capricorn. This means we are each being required to step into more of our authority, mastery, responsibility, to be more aware of mature expressions that take into consideration differences. This means we are now needing to be more intentional with the Capricorn areas of our lives because Pluto is done doing that deep dive work. Now, this can be more evident to you if you had any personal transits of Pluto and Capricorn, especially back in 2008, 2009, 2010, earlier in the journey. This could be something that you're already good with, you're clear, right? You've got an understanding of what that was about for you. But for the collective and for the world, Pluto is finally leaving Capricorn. And that means things are not meant to be the same at all because of how Pluto works. Pluto does that very deep dive, right? It goes into what's under the surface, what we didn't know. What needs to come out, where secrets are revealed, where the skeletons fall out of the closet, where we're meant to see what's truly been happening within those Capricorn structures, themes, expressions. And we've talked a lot about this throughout the years. But what I specifically would invite you to do is to look at what has permanently changed for you in those house or houses that Pluto and Capricorn has been moving through, because now is going to be the time to be more conscious and aware of what those Capricorn energies mean to you now. And even though Pluto has entered Aquarius and moved back into Capricorn, again, 2023, 2024, it was never quite finished. It is finished. It is done as of November 19th, 2024. And so that means there could be an exhale, a relief, a sense of finally I'm done with that energy, with that chapter, with the intensity of that evolutionary growth. Pluto in Capricorn brings up karma, brings up unfinished areas of life that we have to tend to and take care of. It requires us to go slow, steady, stay the course. Capricorn being about the long term, being about what you have to continually apply yourself towards to get those results, to have those achievements. And so now that Pluto finally exits, it's almost like the energy can really start to settle, but it's been transformed. It looks really different. So this can help you look at these Capricorn areas of your life and of course of yourself and get a new understanding of what the more evolved Capricorn expressions are. And because Pluto makes it so uncomfortable and requires us to do the deep, deep work over a long span of time, the change has to happen and it's permanent. And it then becomes real, especially in Capricorn, an earth sign. And I was thinking about this too, about how, for some of us, this could be the last time that Pluto is in an earth sign in our lifetimes, in this lifetime. Because now Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for 20 years, and then go into Pisces, and then go into Aries. And it's going to be many decades before it finally enters Taurus. And I actually did not grab that number or that year before I did this video. But understand how monumental that is, where this could be the last time Pluto is requiring you to deeply work through the earth sign energies. And we've had to face fears around our power, our responsibility, our capabilities. We've had to really step up into taking charge of our life at a whole new level. And so as Pluto moves on and is now done with this chapter, what does Capricorn energy mean to you? How is it showing up for you now after the permanent evolutionary process? And usually with Pluto has to move away at least 1 degree, often 2, before the energy feels like really cleared out and final. And so there could be some realizations that happen for you around what you're doing differently, how you've changed, and what that means not only for you personally, but in the collective. Because of course, the Capricorn energies deeply relate to those in charge. So that can be those in charge of the world, those in charge at the office, those in charge in your life, and of course how you are in charge of your energy, your world, and your soul's path in this lifetime. So that's the first thing I want to offer you to sit with and consider. What are you understanding about evolved, transformed Capricorn energies for yourself? And then you apply it to the house or houses where you have Capricorn. Because those are the areas of life that you've been deeply evolving. And again, it brings up the fears, it brings up the intense emotions, it brings up things you have to face, find new solutions, find new ways of getting things done or moving forward. Okay, so that's the first, is the houses. The second thing I want you to look at in your chart related to Pluto completing its journey in Capricorn is to look at the ruling planet of Capricorn, which is Saturn. Look at your Saturn in your chart. Now, when a transiting planet is moving through an astrology sign, it's clearly moving through that area of your chart, that house or houses. But because the energy was in Capricorn, And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is reverberating to that deep Pluto frequency. Your natal Saturn, anywhere in your chart, any sign, any house, has been feeling the effects of Pluto and Capricorn changes. Because that Saturn is where you've had to continually show up. You've had to get stronger. You've had to evolve and learn how to handle the Capricorn expressions. It's how you approach Capricorn energies. Your natal Saturn is important in this equation. And looking at how your natal Saturn has been reprogrammed could be quite fascinating. You can make some connections here. You know, if that natal Saturn, let's say it's in Taurus in the 7th house, well, that natal Saturn in Taurus has had to do some intense, deeper work around your self-worth in connections, in relationships, the 7th house. You've had to stand on your own. And that's a theme for all Saturn placements. It's what you have to do on your own terms. But when this Pluto in Capricorn has been moving through your chart, that natal Saturn has been feeling that frequency shift and has been realizing, I've got to up-level this. I have to do it differently because the Capricorn areas on my chart are so unsettled, are deeply shifting and evolving, are requiring me to go deeper and to power up. That natal Saturn has not been able to be steady or calm because the ruling sign of Capricorn is deeply evolving. So here you have in your chart your natal Saturn needing to step up in your personal command, your work ethic, your responsibilities, what you handle on your own in your life. It's asking you to take a long-term perspective on matters because you were required to, not because you chose to. Your natal Saturn has been also deeply evolving. And it's because Pluto in Capricorn has been asking you to have a more evolved perspective of Capricorn energies, and therefore the ruling planet needs to do that as well. So looking at your natal Saturn can be very eye-opening in how you've also experienced Pluto in Capricorn since 2008. So this is a bit more next level astrology. This goes into more layers of your chart. But because so many of you are more intermediate and advanced, this could be exactly what you're looking for right now. Because, you know, Pluto at the final critical degree is a big deal completion. Like you could feel like that karma is done, the soul contract is over. You know, you've fulfilled something, which Capricorn wants. You know, if you try to skirt out the door, Capricorn's gonna pull you back in, grab you by the shirt tail and say, no, you gotta work on this. So wherever you've been required to do deep work, it's been in the Capricorn areas of your chart and the Saturn placement in your chart. And so when Pluto moves into Aquarius, the energy picks up. It's more off the wall, crazy, chaotic, disruptive, exciting, stimulating. It gets turned up. And the purpose here, though, is to look at, well, I feel stronger, steadier, and more in control now of my Capricorn energies. And it's that new grounding in Capricorn energies that allow you to handle the wild, zany Aquarius frequencies that are going to be coming in and accelerating us really powerfully. So I hope this gives you some things to understand in your life. And also the opportunity to recognize yourself, which Capricorn loves, which Saturn loves. Like, recognize how strong you've been, determined, the fortitude required to get through these big energies, and to acknowledge what you've been able to handle. Because we've all had to handle more than we ever thought. And we did, and we have, and we are. So check those out in your chart. I hope this gives you some really cool connections to understand about your journey. And as always, thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel. I will be back soon, and we'll keep going with more of these big astrological energies.